RT Rogers Oil Company, and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Rinnai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote or delivery.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only Amana dealer offering full service, repairs, maintenance, and installs. Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty and a one-time unit replacement. Air Supply also offers after-hours repair service. Call today for a free estimate.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
One-Way Towing, the source for all your towing needs. From cars to trucks, the dreaded crash to just plain stuck. For a job done right, there's only one way.
We're Moco shirt signs and embroidery. For Southern West Virginia, we can handle all your needs. From signs to apparel to uniforms, we offer all the services that you're looking for. Choose Moco, yeah, Moco for embroidery and more. Call 304-772-4444.
Moco Shirts, Red Oak Shopping Center in Fairleigh and Main Street in Union.
Let me turn it on and get it on. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's matchup between your home team, the James Monroe Mavericks, and the away team, Greenbrier Spartans. We're about to get this game underway here in just a few minutes. We got the national anthem coming, starting lineups for both teams. Let's get this party under roll on Cinco de Mayo Day. It is May 5th, 2026. Let's do this thing. Softball here at James Monroe High School in Linside, West Virginia. here in just a few minutes. We're going to be getting ready to go here in Linside. Alrighty, here in just a few minutes, we're going to get this game started and this party ready to roll. As you can see, we have a beautiful area shot of the softball field here, right above center field. You're not going to get much of a better view of a field than that right there. Beautiful area coverage provided by Advanced Hydraulics. You can see the press box, both dugouts home and away. A lot of things ready to roll. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to James Monroe High School here in Linside, West Virginia, for tonight's matchup between the away team Greenbrier Lady Spartans and your James Monroe Lady Mavericks. Now for starting lineups for tonight's matchup. Number 1, Reagan Klein. Number 11, Kenna Collins. Number 20, Campbell Bundy. Number 24, Haley Heaster. Batting 5th, number 23, Kaylee Roberts. Batting 6th, number 3, Sydney Norman. Batting 7th, number 5, Natalie Sibbald. Batting 8th, number 4, Paige Totten. And rounding up the lineups, number 9, Nora Ambler. And now for your home team, the James Monroe Lady Mavericks. Batting first, number 10, Grayson Dowdy. Batting second, wearing number 2, Peyton Street. Batting third, number 1, Peyton Griffith. Batting cleanup, number 6, Trinity Hill. Batting 5th, number 7, Destiny Lowe. Batting 6th, number 23, Lizzie Smith. Batting 7th, number 24, Ariana South. Batting 8th, number 22, Gracie Carter. And rounding up the lineup, number 0, Mila Mann. And now for the singing of your national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your caps, and then we'll play ball. All right, here we go. We are underway here at James Monroe High School as the Spartans come down to Lynn's side ready to battle the Mavericks. Let's get this game underway. Peyton Griffith, who was starting pitcher yesterday, is also going to man the mound today. And she's going to face an extremely speedy, arguably the speediest in all of West Virginia, Reagan Klein, to start out this ball game. Klein's coming into this game batting .593 average on the year on her 82 plate appearances. She is definitely a threat to steal when she's on base. And here we go. We are underway. Pitches away, swung on early there from Klein, and ball game is underway. Klein's going to watch one outside for ball number one. Reagan also chokes up on the bat. A lot more compared to a lot of players in softball. She's looking for contact here on the 1-2 pitch from Griffith. She gives her something that she couldn't hit, as the count is now evened up at 2-2. And that one is absolutely crushed there by Klein, and it's going to stay just fair. Klein will have 3 at least because of her speed, and she rounds third, but a good throw there from the second baseman, Street, able to keep it and get it into the infield before she's able to get herself an inside the park home run. But early start here for East as Reagan Klein gets to third on a stand-up triple. And now up to bat for the Spartans is going to be number 11, Kenna Collins, coming in at .351 average on the year. Collins is also your pitcher for today's game as well for the Spartans. So we'll get some statistics on her whenever she goes to the mound. And that one is right down the middle. Lizzie Smith is going to take care of it. But Klein, plenty of speed to be able to tag up and to give the Spartans an early 1-0 lead here in Lynn's side. So Collins does the job as Klein is able to tag up and get herself home. And now this will bring up Campbell Bundy, the catcher, up to the plate for East. Bundy's coming into this one slightly better than Collins with a .375 average on the year. But that says nothing bad about Collins either, because the fact that the first 3 batters of this lineup are all batting .350 is outstanding and a testament to the coaches on the Greenbrier sideline. Griffith, inside pitch there for ball number 1. And that one's going to be tipped there for ball number 1, so that'll even up the count now. 1 ball, 1 strike apiece for Bundy. Griffith Pretty nice. Nicely placed pitch there on the outside corner. But just enough for Bundy to lay off Griffith. She shows, and that one looked like it might have clipped the home plate umpire there a little bit on the left arm. And that'll be 2-2 on the count for Bundy. Griffith delivers, and this one's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman for James Monroe. And Carter's able to put her away for out number 2 here on the evening. And now we're going to see the cleanup hitter, Haley Heister. The powerful hitting first baseman is going to see her first plate appearance here on the day. Heister's coming in with a .282 average. And she's going to look at a ball low to start out the at-bat. So James Monroe, after we saw their game yesterday, they struggled to be able to make plays on the back end from their fielders, but did a great job by James Monroe early, and another great play there by the third baseman. And one runner allowed by the Mavericks, but great damage control compared to what went on yesterday. So they're going to end the top of this first inning down 1-0. Mavericks coming up to bat, as you can see here on your advanced hydraulics replay. On the delivery that Klein was able to get the Spartans on the board with. But we're going to head to a break, and we'll hear a word from our sponsors as the speedy Klein goes around the base. And we'll be right back here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network.
We're Moco shirt signs and embroidery. For Southern West Virginia, we can handle all your needs. From signs to apparel to uniforms, we offer all the services that you're looking for. Choose Moco, yeah, Moco for embroidery and more. Call 304-772-4444.
Moco Shirts, Red Oak Shopping Center in Fairleigh and Main Street in Union.
Yeah, I'm not seeing nothing. Alrighty, and we are back here at James Monroe High School as Greenbrier East is getting ready to pitch. Here at the bottom of the first inning. Greenbrier East has a early 1-0 lead as Reagan Klein was able to get herself a leadoff triple to add to her .593 average, and I might add a team leading .593 average. Chloe Weichel, the only one who has a better average than her at .667, but Weichel mostly on the mound as one of their pitchers. She's only got 3 at-bats on the year, so she's hit 2 out of her 3. So good efficiency from Weichel, but not quite as many appearances as Reagan Klein has seen. All right, let's get this party started as Grayson Dowdy is going to be the one to start things out for James Monroe. She's coming into this game with a .231 average on Game Changer. And she's going to see if she can get something early started here for these Mavericks as she watches ball number 1 outside for the early 1-0 count. And a good strike there to even up the count now at 1-1. And Collins is going to check her forearm to see what the call is here for the 1-1 pitch. And here it comes. And she absolutely had one ripped off the bat of Dowdy for the 1-2 count. And she nearly took out Coach Wickline there, the third base coach and the head coach. And Dowdy once again a little bit late on the pitch there from Collins, but she fouls it off to stay alive. Collins coming into this game on max preps with a 4.86 ERA. She is 3-0 on the year so far, as she has seen 15 appearances. So if max preps is correct, this is one of the few starts that Collins has made on the year. Which, as good as Collins' stats are, I don't see that being true. She probably starts more often than that. Let's see how she does today, though, against the Mavericks, as she pitches one low and in the dirt to Dowdy, and now we got a full count. Collins gathers herself here, ready to deliver to Dowdy. And that's going to be well outside there, about 3 inches off the plate there. And we have ball 4 now. So, first appearance of the game for Dowdy. It results in a walk. So now this is going to bring up Peyton Street, the second baseman, who was able to make a good play to cut off Regan Klein there and keep her at third base early in that first inning, despite her being able to score later. They were still able to get that out there at center field. That first pitch was a little bit upstairs there for ball 1 on Street. Collins delivers, and she shows bunt again, but another pitch a little bit low there. Griffith is coming, Street is coming into this game with a 292 average on the season. She'd love to be able to make that 300 this game, and she's going to see one well inside. And if this at bat keeps going how it's been going, she may not raise her batting average, but you best believe she's going to get that on-base percentage up. Street's got 9 walks on the season and make that double digits, as she's got 10 now. And now the Mavericks have runners on first and second with no outs. So early pressure being put on here by the Mavs. And now they're going to bring up the pitcher, Peyton Griffith, as she's ready to roll. And she is the one that leads the team on average with a 479 average, and she's going to miss the bunt a little bit above the pitch for strike number 1. So 0-1 is the count. She's also got a very strong OPS on the season. Her on-base plus slugging is coming in at a 194, so well above average for the state of West Virginia is Griffith. She's facing a little bit of adversity here. Let's see if she can show the Mavericks why she has a 479 average. And she's going to be called out on strikes for the first out of the inning. Not what you want to see if you're the Mavericks, but next up is the cleanup hitter, Trinity Hill. .431 average on the year for Hill on 57 plate appearances. And she's going to watch this one outside for ball number 1. Hill gets one well high. That's ball number 2. Collins did good work there being able to get her command for Griffith, but it seems like it is not there right now for the other 3 batters that she's faced so far. She does on that pitch, though, as she delivers a beautiful rise ball to Hill to make it a 2-1 count. Collins with the delivery. That one's going to be off the end of the bat. Oh, and an error is going to be made. And we have a bases. That's going to move runners to second and third for James Monroe. As she has the celebration there at second base. And we just got a word that we will be seeing. We're going to look at that replay here at the next break and see what exactly happened. It almost looked like the sun got caught in her eyes, but she's wearing sunglasses out there in right field. So obviously it's still possible to make an error like that, but usually you don't see that as much whenever the players are wearing sunglasses. Nonetheless, we got ourselves a tie ball game here now. Inland side. Pitches away. And that one is well inside there. To low for the 2-1 count. And that one low, rips it to the third baseman. That one is tipped off. Lowe's going to make it safely. And as the throw was made over, Hill was able to move herself, very smart base running, to get herself at the corners. So all runners are safe for the Mavericks. Score's going to be 2-1 now. Mavericks lead with only 1 out. As Destiny Lowe, with some great base running, the number 5 hitter was able to get herself on first base with an infield single. So now the Mavericks are going to bring up their center fielder. It'll be Lizzie Smith. Smith rips that one to left field. And it is not another error for Greenbrier East. And Lowe wisely stayed there at first base as she tagged up. And Ariana South is going to show bunt here. So South is going to get strike 1 there. She's coming into the season with a 200 average. On 35 at bats. And that one's going to get outside, so that'll move Lizzie Smith up to second and base, so that'll take away any forces that the Spartans have. So with 1 out, the Mavericks are in business. The score is 2-1 currently as the Mavericks lead over the Spartans. Third baseman comes in. Bunt is showed. But the foul tip is able to make it out of play. And Sydney Norman was ready to come in and make a play for the Spartans if that ball was put into play. If South can get anything hit into the outfield for her ball club, that's going to score 2 Mavericks. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be inside. Good stop there by Campbell Bundy on the backstop. We're going to be evened up at 2-2, so pitcher's count here. As Collins going to see if she can make something happen. Good pitch there from Kenna Collins. And that's going to be 2 outs. Collins thought that was the 3rd out there of the inning. But she's still got at least one more batter to face. She's going up against the number 8 hitter in the lineup, Gracie Carter. Carter coming into the season with a 143 batting average on the game. Carter. Good pitch there on the outside corner there by Collins. But Carter needs to see if she can put anything in play here to try to get those other 2 Mavericks over to home plate. Pitches away. Good cut there by Carter, but a little bit late on the fastball by Kenna Collins. And now Kenna Collins has options with the 0-2 count. And she's going to watch that one as Collins chooses to waste the 3rd pitch of the at-bat. Collins checks her wrist for the command. And it's away for a beautiful pitch. So Kenna Collins, a couple earned runs, but she's able to strand runners at 2nd and 3rd as the 7 and 8 hitters of the lineup get out. And now we're going to head to the top of the 2nd inning. Mavericks lead 2-1. And we'll be right back here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. Actually, here in just a second, we're going to show you the replay that was made over in right field. Ball was hit. It looked like she just lost it. Lost it in the sun, as the ball was hit between her shoulder and the left side of her head. So very fortunate there for the Mavericks as they were able to get a run across from that. Definitely an unfortunate situation, but the Mavericks definitely were do something to go their way after yesterday's game where they were struggling with errors. We'll see if they can get themselves a clean game here as we're about to start the top of the 2nd inning. Peyton Griffith had a great top of the 1st inning, only allowing 1 run on the Reagan Klein triple. And to start things out, Roberts is going to be up to bat for the Greenbrier East Spartans. It's going to be ball 1. Another ball 2 here. And Roberts, she's got herself a nice hitter's count at 3-1. Roberts had the green light there on 3-1. Two and two. She delivers one inside, so now we got it full at 3-2. Roberts ready to crack this one. And she gets just a piece of it on the foul tip. But Ariana South does a great job holding on to it for the first out of this top of the 2nd inning. The deficit currently for Greenbrier East is 1 run. As this will bring up the number 6 hitter in the lineup, Sydney Norman, the 3rd baseman for the Spartans. She'll take a slight choke up on her bat. And a beautiful pitch there from Griffith. She's able to paint that inside corner to even it up at 1-1. And an early swing there from Sid. The way the Mavericks are rolling with their infield, they have Low a little bit more towards the right than what they did yesterday, which doesn't give quite as much of a gap in center. See if that turns out to be an advantage. That'll put a little bit more pressure on Carter if there's an early swing. That ball is going to be number 2, so 2-2 is the count. And Griffith, that one's going to be popped up to the left field. Is she going to be able to make it in time? Yes, she does. Great job there by Grayson Dowdy, able to put Sydney Norman away. And that'll be 2 outs now. As you can see here on the Advanced Hydraulics replay, Norman was able to get the bat head out there, but unfortunately not enough power to be able to get it over the fence, and plenty of time for Grayson Dowdy to make the play, as now the lefty, Natalie Sibbald, will be up to bat, and she's going to face an early 2-0 count. So hitter's advantage here for Sibbald. Let's see if she can take advantage of it. She gives Griffith a different look, as she is a lefty. And it's going to be 3-0 on the count here. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk, as Sibbald able to get on first base. So 2 outs here for Greenbrier East, but they got themselves a base runner, as the speedy Paige Totten is coming up to bat. Totten has a 200 average on the season. She's a danger when she's on the base pad, so even though she's got one of her teammates and Sibbald in front of her, she'd definitely love to get a rally started. Griffith pitches away, and that one's right down the middle. Throw goes down to second base, but the throw smartly and wisely cut off by Destiny Lowe, as South threw it a couple feet in front of the second base pad. So that's going to advance. And that's going to be another ball. Here's Griffith was able to take care. She's able to take care of the first 2 batters, but struggling a little bit with the last 2. Griffith delivers to Totten, and Totten fouls it off. That's going to make it a full 3-2 count. Totten has herself 4 stolen bases well on the season, which ties for second on this Greenbrier East team. She would likely be third, but unfortunately second place Maddie Baker, who will be an interview with us later on after this game, so make sure you stay tuned afterwards. If you guys aren't already following the Greenbrier Valley channel, definitely make sure you do that so you're not missing any exciting games. That one's going to be off the hand of the pitcher, and they're going to have enough time. Low throw is offline. That's going to advance Totten, as well as Nora Ambler, and the Spartans are able to score. We're tied. Two to two now is the score. And the speediest player on the Spartans team, who leads the Spartans with 11 stolen bases on the season, is Reagan Klein. Klein chokes up, swings at the first pitch, and it's going to be fouled off for strike one. So 0-1 is the count, as the Greenbrier Spartans have runners at second and third. We got a tie ball game here in Linside. Top of the second inning. A ball is delivered to even things up here at 1-1 apiece. Klein, that's going to be ball number 2. She also leads the teams. And now, as Klein also leads the team in doubles, she's got double-digit two-baggers with 10 on the season. And she's going to walk, and that's going to load them up for Greenbrier East. So the score is 2-2. 2 outs with the bases loaded. And now the second hitter in the lineup, Kenna Collins, the pitcher, is coming up. And she not only will be helping out her team, but she'll be helping out herself if she can get herself a rip. Runners are going to be moving on anything, as there are 2 outs. So anything in the outfield that makes it safely, or an infield hit. And that one is just in time there. Beautiful play made there by the third baseman, Gracie Carter. And she gets there just in time to get Collins. I mean, you're not going to get much closer than that on the play. That'll bring us to the bottom of the second inning. Great job there by the Mavericks to hold the Spartans to only 1 run in the second inning. We will be right back here after a few messages and words from our sponsors here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only Amana dealer offering full service, repairs, maintenance, and installs. Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty and a one-time unit replacement. Air Supply also offers after-hours repair service. Call today for a free estimate.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
Alrighty, here we go. Let's get this party underway. We've already had a good bit of one and a good start. The only batter in the lineup now that has yet to see the plate is Mila Mann. She is up now, the 9-hitter in the lineup for James Monroe. And I apologize, before I went to break, I said that the score was 2-2. The Mavericks had a third run. I apologize for the incorrect call. So the Mavericks are up currently 1 run now in the bottom of the second inning. Let's get this thing started. First pitch of the bottom of the second is delivered to man from Collins, and it's going to be a ball outside. Man's going to see that one. 1-1 is the count. Man's batting at a .333 average on the season. So 1 out of every 3 balls, or excuse me, 1 out of every 3 bats statistically, she's going to put that sucker in play. Let's see if this is one of her 3. Collins takes her time on the mound. And inside is the pitch that would nearly clip the side of man. 3-1 on the count. And that's going to be a walk, as the Mavericks will go up to the top of their lineup for Grayson Dowdy, as Malaman does a great job raising her on-base percentage. She gets on the base pads. She already had over a 600 on-base percentage. It almost looks like a slap bunt approach there from Dowdy. She definitely swung really hard for that to have been a slap bunt, but nonetheless, it's going to be strike one as she misses the pitch. And she shows bunt. And she misses it. She's got 2 strikes on her. As head coach Wickline giving her the command at third base. So far, Collins doing a good job with the lefty. And she's going to slap one. That's going to be just foul. About 2 feet to the left of the chalk. And Dowdy will stay alive at 0-2. Sibbald was ready to make a play. But fortunately enough for the Spartans, that one was just foul. Let's see if Dowdy sees it now. And she's going to rip that one. That one will make it to the outfield. And it's going to be another error on the Spartans as Sibbald drops that one. That's going to advance man to third base. We got runners at the corners. So with no outs in this ball game, the Mavericks are going to bring up Peyton Street with their 3-2 lead. Man, oh man, I believe that makes 3 errors on the game for the Greenbrier Spartans, and we're not even done with the second inning yet. Very, very uncharacteristic for the Spartans team. And that one's going to be slapped by Street. Cleanly played there by Paige Totten, the shortstop. And that's going to be an out, but an RBI as man will score. So now the Spartans will have Street on first base as the Spartans are able to get the runner out at second base. So Griffith will come up. Griffith rips one. That one's going to make it past Heister. Runners will be at the corners now for the Mavs. So the Mavericks, just when you think they're about ready to put a little bit of water on the fire, they come right back. And we have a conference on the mound with Bundy and Collins. Collins. She's going to see one inside. Bundy acted like she was going to throw to second over where Griffith was at. She's just going to go ahead and let Griffith advance as they try to keep Street on third for the time being. Nice rip over there, just foul. as the first baseman about 1.5 feet to the right of the chalk. Hill nearly had herself a really nice rip there, and that would have definitely brought in both runners. Pitches away, and a called strike 2. So 1-2 on Hill. Love to raise that .431 average. She's got herself a beautiful gap. That center field gap is meant for her. Let's see if she can hit it. 2-2 on the count now for Hill. Collins, a really nice pitch on the inside corner. But Hill was able to get her hands in as tight to her body as she could to be able to foul it off. And Hill choked up on her bat, but it's going to be late on the swing as that ball was up and outside, and she gets the swing and the miss for out number 2. So 4-2 is the score, but this wouldn't be the first time Collins would be able to give herself some damage control. She's able to strand 2 runners last inning. Can she do it again? Low, on to first base. Can Heister make it? Yes, she will. Haley Heister does a good job there over at first base. And that'll do it for the for the second inning on to the top of the third. As you can see here on the advanced hydraulics replay, over here where the error was over the left fielder, she ran in on the ball a little bit too much, and it is windy here in Linside, so the wind carried the ball just a little bit over the left fielder Sybil's head, and that'll bring us to the top of the third inning with the James Monroe Mavericks leading 4-2. Don't go anywhere on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network.
One-Way Towing, the source for all of your towing needs. From cars to trucks, the dreaded crash to just plain stuck. For a job done right, there's only one way.
And welcome back to Linside, as we're about to start the top of the third inning. We got the catcher Campbell Bundy coming up to the plate. As you can see, the home plate umpire there. And also the catcher for James Monroe, Ariana South. A beautiful area view brought to you by Advanced Hydraulics. You're not going to get a much better view of a softball field than what you just saw right there, except for on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. If you are enjoying the sights and sounds of today's game, we'd greatly appreciate it if you drop us a follow. It would help us a lot on the channel. As Bundy watches ball number 2. And also, we're going to have several player interviews after the game as well, so stay tuned for that. They will be posted on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network on our Facebook page. So make sure that you're following so you don't miss any player interviews from your favorite athletes. All right, 2-1 is the count on Campbell Bundy, as she watches one outside now, and she'll have a hitter's advantage here at 3-1 on the count. And that one's going to be ripped to the third base side. But Carter is out of play. So that's going to land foul. Greenbrier East currently with one hit on the day. And Bundy nearly said, I've got something else to say about that. But it was ripped about 15 feet to the left of the foul pole. So far, Reagan Klein, the lone hit for the Spartans on the day. And that ball's going to be low as Bundy is able to reach first base. And now for the cleanup hitter, Haley Heister. So that is 5 walks now on the day that Griffith has allowed. But both pitchers have done a good job of damage control in this game, which is what has kept this game so close. Beautiful pitch there from Griffith. Delivered one on the inside corner. And she's going to run, take off. And that one's over the head of Lowe, but a beautiful job there by the center fielder, able to stay out there and get the ball into the infield ASAP before the runner was able to advance. Donovan is the courtesy runner. Griffith. And that one's inside. Somehow missed the leg of Heister. Played a little bit of dodgeball there instead of softball. And that pass ball on the wild pitch is going to get Donovan over to third base. So a 2-run deficit will turn to just 1 by any hit from Heister, and that's going to be one. That's going to hit the gap at left center. Heister is going to take her chances over to second, and she's going to be standing as the Spartans cut the deficit to just 1 with the tying run on second base. We'll give you guys that replay here in just a second. And that one's going to be chopped over to second base. Another error on the game as Lowe just over her mitt. I believe that was just the first error of the game for the Mavericks. Yes, it was. But that's a costly one. That'll put runners on the corners. As Roberts was able to reach. And we have a showed bunt here from the number 6 batter on the lineup, Sydney Norman. So she's going to get strike 1 on her. And that's going to be ball as it gets to the outside, but a good job by South. Able to keep that in front of her as Heister's going to stay at third base. That one also will stay in front of her. So 2-1 is the count. The good news for the Mavericks is not a ton of speed. Heister is more of a power hitter than a runner. So that one, and they're going to keep her. Oh, and an error's going to be made at first base by Trinity Hill. Oh, no. Definitely not ideal there if you're a Mavericks fan. Trinity Hill just off the tip of her glove. So that's going to tie up this ball game as the score is now 4-4 with runners on second and third on the foul tip from number 5, Natalie Sibbald. And still no outs for this Greenbrier East team. So the Mavericks now having a little bit of the treatment that the Spartans had in the first inning. That one is just going to get over the head of the second baseman. Street not quite able to make the play, and Roberts will score, and the Spartans will have their second lead of the game, and head coach Greg Wickline for the James Monroe Mavericks is going to head out to have a conference on the mound with his pitcher. And we're going to show you here, while we have a minute on the advanced hydraulics replay, the absolute bomb by Heister. I mean, that ball was crushed. There wasn't a chance for Lizzie Smith to be able to make a play on it. And that's really what started this rally, other than the couple stolen bases from Donovan. All right, so everything looks pretty similar now on the scoreboard, except for Greenbrier's now leading the James Monroe Mavericks. They take their second lead of the game. They had an early 1-0 lead in the first inning off of a triple from Reagan Klein, and now they have another one. Paige Totten is going to watch it strike one. Oh, no, nobody was there at second base. A Street was over towards the right side of the bag, about 4 feet from it. And Lowe was over near third base, trying to make sure that Sid Norman didn't try to steal. So I'll make it 1-1. Pass ball. Sid Norman is going to stay. And a good job there by the catcher, South, able to keep that in front of her as much as she could. And was able to get that one to Griffith as quickly as possible, so that way Norman didn't have a chance to get into home. Pitches away. And that one's going to be ripped by Totten. And the play will be made at first. And she's going to be ruled out for the first out of the top of the top of the third inning. So no damage done on that out, as that'll bring up Nora Ambler. All right, runners on second and third still. As Norman readies up. The pitch away from Griffith. That's going to be low and in the dirt. So 2 balls, 1 strike is the count. Griffith want to do everything in her power to keep these Spartans from scoring. And for the time being, she will. That was a good decision there by Lowe. She had runners moving, 1 to third, 1 to home, and 1 to third base, and didn't know the decision to make. So she chooses to throw it back to the pitcher. Lowe was talking to her head coach. So now the score will be 6-4 in favor of the Spartans, with the speedy Reagan Klein now at the plate. Ambler's going to go ahead and take herself a free second base. That'll be another stolen base for her on the season as well. Klein Klein choked up a good bit there on her at bat. And a very favorable hitter's count here at 3-0. She stays choked up, and she'll watch and raise her on-base percentages. We've got them loaded here in Linside. So now the pitcher, Kenna Collins, she's already helped herself out once with a couple RBIs. She would love to help herself out with a couple more. She's got 1 RBI already in the game. She'll watch that one outside for ball 1. And that one's going to be ripped out the center field. Lizzie Smith will be there, and she's going to make the play. And not great base running, unfortunately, for the Spartans there on Sibbald's end. She thought that was going to drop. And since it didn't, and Smith was able to make the catch, she did not tag up. So now bases are loaded with 2 outs for the Spartans. Bundy rips one, and that's going to find the gap between third and short. And that'll score 2 as Campbell Bundy able to make damage happen. And that will keep this lead, or that's going to double this lead up as the Spartans now lead 8-4. Strike 1 is delivered to Hayla Heister. And a stolen base as Klein, the speedy Klein, able to get over to third base. She was over there in less than a quarter second, it felt like. And now the pinch runner for Bundy. Donovan is able to get herself another stolen base on the day and able to take away any force that the Mavericks had. Griffith, ball 1. So now 1-1 is the count. It's evened up. And Heister tips that one away. Mavericks have allowed good bit of runs this inning, but this would be a great way for damage control for them to get the cleanup hitter Heister out. And a favorable count here for the pitcher Griffith. As Griffith tried to get down over the street at second base, but Donovan wisely gets back. And Heister, that's going to be grounded low, will make the play. And that's 3 outs, and that'll do it for the top of the 3rd inning. As you can see here on your advanced hydraulics replay, as you can see, that pitch was just able to make it right past the shortstop low and the third baseman Carter, and scored 2 runs and really opened this game up for the Greenbrier Spartans. But still plenty of time and outs for the Mavericks as they're down 8-4 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network.
RT Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating. And we also have Renai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote or delivery.
Alrighty, we are back here at James Monroe High School here in Linside as Lizzie Smith is going to take strike number 1 in this bottom of the third. And another strike there on the inside corner on Smith, and that'll make it an early pitcher's count 0-2. A big inning, last inning for the Spartans, as they were able to strike for 6 runs and really open up this ball game. But that takes away absolutely nothing for these Mavericks. They've shown that they can score pretty comfortably in this game as well. Can they knot this ball game back up? Smith will watch one outside as the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Mavericks will come up. So it'll be Smith, South, and then Carter will be the 3 up to bat for the Mavs. And that one inside and nearly hit Smith. And that'll make it full. So good job by Smith there, able to draw this to a full count. Good pitch there. And Smith will not make it. Great play made there by the shortstop, Paige Totten. And Kenna Collins will get her first out of the third inning. Ariana South. Ready to come up with 1 out. Pitch inside. There's 4 errors. Most of them were in this last inning, which is partially why the Spartans were able to take advantage of as many runs as they have right now. Apart from the fantastic pitching of Maddie Rader yesterday, that was a lot of the damage from Midland Trail yesterday as well, was simple and silly mistakes by the Mavericks. The good news is the Mavericks also have the bats to back themselves up. And now South with a favorable hitter's count here at 3-0. She'll show bunt. She sees strike 1. She gets the sign from South. Inside for ball 4. And now for Gracie Carter, who made that critical play later on at the top of the third. Carter'd love to be able to get herself a rip here. She's going to go for the bunt, and that'll be strike 1. And wind hitting heavy here at James Monroe High School as we have some dust coming up. But overall, a beautiful day here at the ball field. As Carter sees 2 strikes on her. And that's going to be a strike as she is tagged out trying to make it to third base. And that is 2 outs back to back. And the Spartans are going to be able to get out of this, as you can see here on the replay. A called third strike and throw him out at second base. Man, that was a beautiful throw by the catcher, Campbell Bundy, right on the money where it needed to be. And that'll do it for the third inning. We'll head to the top of the fourth here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. Don't go anywhere.
We're Moco shirt signs and embroidery. For Southern West Virginia, we can handle all your needs. From signs to apparel to uniforms, we offer all the services that you're looking for. Choose Moco, yeah, Moco for embroidery and more. Call 304-772-4444.
Moco Shirts, Red Oak Shopping Center in Fairleigh and Main Street in Union.
One-Way Towing, the source for all your towing needs. From cars to trucks, the dreaded crash, to just plain stuff. For a job done right, there's only one way.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
The pitcher. All right, and we are back on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. As you just saw that beautiful view there just a second from our aerial coverage provided by Advanced Hydraulics. As Roberts will be the first one up, the fifth hitter in the lineup for the Spartans. And that's going to be ball number 1 to Roberts. That one well inside. Tony, these balls are somehow, whenever they're bouncing on the dirt, avoiding these hitters. There's been a couple today that really not quite sure how they missed the outside leg. Griffith a little bit wild on these first 3. And now Roberts with a favorable hitter's count, likely watching here on the 3-1. And she's going to swing, and she'll be the first out of this top of the fourth. So the Mavericks able to get themselves a quick out early on to bring up Sid Norman. And that's going to be a pop-up towards the third baseline. And another error for the Mavericks as Gracie Carter. It went just over her head and stayed in bounds. So a double whammy for the Mavericks. And that'll put Sid Norman on first, with only 1 out to go here in this top of the fourth inning. Pitch low, ball 1. On the number 7 hitter in the lineup, Natalie Sibbald. Inside pitch there. That one's going to get past Sid. pass Ariana south and allow Sid Norman to move to second base. So 2-1 is the count. Pitch is delivered, and that's going to be ball 3. Sybil looked like she wanted to take a whack at that, but opted to keep the bat on her shoulder. And she'll take a walk. And now the Spartans threatening with runners on first and second as the bottom part of the lineup is making some damage happen as Paige Totten, now the number 8 hitter in the lineup, will come up and strike one as delivered. Paige Totten, one rip, can really open up this game. But she's got a pitcher's count that she's working against at 0-2. Can she make something happen? She sure can battle back with a 1-2 count here. Spartans can definitely use this inning to try to shut out the Mavericks. As the Mavericks had a little bit of a struggle third inning as they allowed 6 runs and didn't score any, but the game is still very much within reach. Paige Totten will hit it. That's going to be a force play at third base. And now 2 outs as Sid Norman will be out at third, and the number 9 hitter, Nora Ambler, will come up for Greenbrier East. So 2 outs, anything in the outfield that is hit will definitely score Sybil. She's got the speed to do it. Pitched low and inside for Peyton Griffith. That one's going to be off the inside of her calf to even things up at 1-1. And that one's ripped at the shortstop. Force play will be made at second base. Good job there by Lowe and Street, able to work together. And that'll do it. A scoreless top of the 4th. Let's see if the Mavericks can come back here in the bottom of the 4th on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. All right, and we are back here at James Monroe High School. As you just saw that aerial coverage just a second ago provided by Advanced Hydraulics. As the bottom of the 4th inning is underway with Mila Mann, the 9th hitter in the lineup. The 9, 1, and 2 hitters are due up for James Monroe. That one is going to be hit over the head of the second baseman, and that will put Mila Mann on first base. Man, Nora Ambler was sniffing that ball, but she wasn't quite able to catch up to it. Good job by Mila Mann to get herself on first base. And now for the lefty. Let's see what Grayson Dowdy can do. Outside. Mavericks are still to the point where outs and runners matter more than anything in this ball game. And Dowdy hit that one right back where it came from. And Kenna Collins was able to make the play. And that'll be the first out of the bottom of the fourth inning. But as I was saying, if you can fill the bases up, if you're James Monroe, you're right back in this ball game. One run at a time. Peyton Street will watch ball one outside. Collins just tipped off the bat of Street. That'll even her up at 1-1 apiece. Street so far has a ribby already today. She's going to get one inside for strike two. This is a massive, massive pitch right here for both teams. And that one, it sounded like it clipped the inside of Street. And I don't believe it did, judging by the act. It sounded like it did from up here in the press box, but judging by the actions of Street, it did not. But Street rips one into center. Reagan Klein will make the play, and that will also not allow the runner at second base to be able to advance. So Milo Man will stay put. And that was a big out for the Spartans, as now they only need one more out in this inning to work with. And Peyton Griffith needs to get a hit to try to bring her team within. And that'll put her on base as she is hit with the pitch. So now any hit in the gap here from the cleanup hitter, Trinity Hill, if she can rip herself something into the gap, that'll cut this lead in half to 2, as Griffith is plenty fast enough to be able to get around the base pads. Collins outside. So James Monroe threatening here with 2 outs. And man, Collins is loving that rise ball against Hill. She's had a few chases upstairs. On the upper part of the strike zone. And Hill, 1-2 now is the count, so she'll be looking for anything close and just trying to stay alive. Can Hill make something happen? Let's find out. Inside pitch. We're even to 2-2. Despite having a strikeout in the game, there's a reason that Hill's the cleanup. And she's going to rip one, and that's going to make it past the third baseman, Sydney Norman. That'll score one. Fumble over towards the left side of the outfield. Mavericks are going to get 1 run in, and we have celebration on Cinco de Mayo Day. 5 runs for the Mavericks in the bottom of the 4th inning, as Trinity Hill able to deliver for her squad. So we are also evened up as well with 4 hits apiece on the day. Outside pitch here on the shortstop. And the Mavericks making some damage happen. And now it's evened up at 1-1 apiece. That was a big pitch from Kenna Collins. The 5-hitter in the lineup, Destiny Lowe. And that ball's going to get past the backstop. As Campbell Bundy on the wild pitch. That's going to advance both Mavericks. So any hit to the outfield is going to score 2 Mavericks and make this a 1-run game. Destiny Lowe can be really dangerous here with this at bat. Lowe, down low. Can she make it to first in time? No, she can't. That'll do it for the bottom of the 4th inning, and we're going to head to the top of the 5th. That was a golden opportunity. As you can see here on the replay, man, just a missed opportunity there for the Mavericks. They were that close to being able to make something big happen with the bottom of the 4th inning, but nonetheless, they're still able to get 1 run back, a 3-score deficit now as they head to the top of the 5th. Greenbrier East leads James Monroe 8-5 on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only Amana dealer offering full service, repairs, maintenance, and installs. Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty and a one-time unit replacement. Air Supply also offers after-hours repair service. Call today for a free estimate.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
Alrighty, we are back at James Monroe High School. As Greenbrier East is going to have the top of the lineup with Reagan Klein up to bat, who has already hit a triple in this game and stolen third base. That alone should tell you that she is one of arguably the fastest runner in all of West Virginia, for that matter, in the game of softball. So, if you haven't had a chance to watch her, here's your chance. Anything in play, she's going to make it to first base on. And she's going to watch. She sees ball 1 for the first pitch of the top of the 5th inning. Klein absolutely crushes one, but that's going to be well out of play on the right field side to even it up at 1-1. And also for all of you who celebrate, happy Cinco de Mayo Day, as it is May 5th, and we're at the top of the 5th inning. Outside pitch. As Klein now sees it 3-1. Klein has power. She has speed. She has the whole package. Anything you could ask for in a softball player. And I was about to say the last thing you want to do is walk her, and unfortunately, that's exactly what Griffith does. So that'll put the speedy Klein on first, and now the pitcher and number 2 hitter in the lineup, Kenna Collins, will come up to bat with the score 8-5. Greenbrier East leading James Monroe. They show bunt, and it doesn't matter if it's a perfect throw or not. Klein could have been in standing on that as she steals second comfortably. So strike on Collins. She'll face an early 0-1. And that one ripped. And Klein is going to be able to comfortably get in. And a wide throw, which allows Collins to move up to second. So Collins will replace Klein in second. And that will also score another runner. So now score is 9-5. As the Greenbrier East Spartans are going to work at the top of this fifth inning. An absolute ripped ball there by Campbell Bundy. Not the first time she's done that today. She's got multiple hits on the day. And a wild throw. Great awareness by Bundy as well. As she saw the throw was wide. Runner wasn't able to advance from third to home, but Bundy was able to get to second. So now runners will be on second and third as the cleanup hitter, Haley Heister, can pretty much open up and try to shut this game away. Heister somehow went foul, just slightly to the left of the bag. Thought that one was going to stay fair there for a second, but it did not. All right, Heister rips one. Heister ripped one right back where it came from. She hit it straight to the pitcher, Griffith, and that'll keep the runners where they were stationed at. So that'll keep the score 9-5. As Kaylee Roberts, the fifth hitter in the lineup, is coming up to bat. Roberts also back to first base. Great job by the Mavericks. Oh, and there's going to be a throw down to second base, and that is not going to be there in time. Lowe doesn't see the runner coming home. That'll score Collins. Man, just a little bit high on the throw. Donovan, I don't know how she was able to make it back to second base without being out. But that throw was able to give Collins plenty enough time to make it home. And now the score will be 10-5. Greenbrier East leading James Monroe. Sid Norman will hit that one out of bounds and out of play. As 0-1 will be the count. Norman watches upstairs. And that one's going to be popped straight up at the pitcher, Griffith. And the Mavericks able to avoid a little bit of damage after the Spartans were able to get themselves 2 more runs to tack on the top of this fifth inning. We will be right back here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. Spartans lead 10-5. We'll be right back with the top of the fifth, or bottom of the fifth. Alrighty, here we go. Bottom of the 5th inning as Lizzie Smith, the number 6 hitter in the lineup. So the 6, 7, and 8 guys will be up for the Mavericks as the bottom of the 5th begins. Let's get this thing started. Collins delivers, and that one's going to be just a little bit high. Collins does not know how that pitch missed the strike zone. Jesse definitely does not agree with the call. The last thing, though, that Collins can do is let that get in her head. Her team has a comfortable 5-run lead, and the last thing you need right now is base runners. You're getting late enough in the game to where if you could keep runners off the plate and get outs as quickly as possible, you could try to end the game. And she does just that as she delivers a strike on the 3rd pitch of the at-bat. Smith is going to watch strike 2 as well. So she'll watch the first 4 of the at-bat, and she'll be swinging at anything close. See what she does here. Good job there by Smith, able to stay alive, and we now have a battle on our hands. And the hit counts have been pretty similar in this game. And Smith is going to get that one. That's going to hit into the gap. But Klein able to be speedy. Not surprising at all. She's able to cut it off before it gets too far into that right center field gap. And Smith was not able to advance, but that is not taking anything away from that rip that she just had. So now that is 6 hits apiece for each ball club. The only difference being the errors on James Monroe's side. James Monroe scored 5 runs in a game before. They did it just 2 games ago. Let's see if they can do it again, as Ariana South is evened up at 1-1 on the count. Good ball game here in Linside. It's been back and forth pretty much all day. The Spartans had a really nice 3rd inning, scoring 6 runs where the Mavericks had 0. But other than that, it's been even pretty much the whole game. That one's going to be on the outside corner for strike 2. And South in the exact same situation that Smith was with the 2-2 count. And it's delivered in that one outside. And there, she's now full. Man, this would be huge if South was able to somehow find her way on base, whether it be by walk, hit by pitch, or a hit. And it's going to be a walk, as the Mavs now have runners on first and second base. And it looks like we have a substitution into the game for the Mavericks. Yes, we do. So coming in for Gracie Carter, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, is going to be designated hitter Keely Morrow, number 5. So Morrow is going to get her first at-bat of the game. See if I can find some statistics for you from Morrow on the season. She's got herself 28 plate appearances on the season, 22 at-bats. She is currently hitting at a 136 average, so see if she can get herself a hit and get going. See if she can get herself a hit going and see if she can be a spark coming off the bench for the Lady Mavericks. As Campbell Bundy gives out the signals from the home plate as the catcher. Good news for the Spartans. They have a force at any of the 3 outside plates. other than home plate. Here we go. Pitch right at the knees. As Monroe will watch the first pitch of her bat. Mavericks making some noise in the dugout as they try to get in the head of Collins. Can they do it? Pitch inside. And we're evened up now at 1-1. Bundy definitely wants to do anything she can to keep the ball in front of her. Any pass ball will take away any forces that the Spartans have. That one's going to be well inside. 2 straight balls. Collins pitches away. Outside. Ball 3. So 3 straight balls after the first pitch strike. And Monroe's in business. She's got herself a hitter's count. Let's see if she decides to watch or if she's going to be swinging. Here we go. She's going to watch, and she's got a ball. That's another walk for the Mavericks, and we are loaded in Linside. No outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Mavericks are in business, and we're going to have a visit with the pitcher Collins as head coach for the Greenbrier Spartans is going to come out and have a discussion. So, one positive for the Spartans here is they have a force at any plate they want. All they got to do is step on the bag. Pretty much any other bright side goes to the Mavericks in this situation other than the fact that the Spartans have the lead. Let's see what the Mavericks... Okay, so it'll be Mila Mann, the 9-hitter in the lineup. So right after her, it'll be Grayson Dowdy at the top of the lineup. So the bottom of the lineup has done everything you could ask for if you're Coach Wickline. Now let's see if Mann can deliver. She's going to get underneath that ball for strike 1 to start the count. Coach tells her not to dip her shoulders as she swings. Anything in play is going to likely score a run, and she's going to watch strike number 2. And Collins, whatever the message was from Coach Ambler, whatever the message was, he must have told her to attack the strike zone because that's exactly what Collins is doing. And that ball is going to be swung on. Where's the force going to be at? It's going to be at third base. And she'll be out at third base. As Ariana South will be out. But that scores a run for the Mavericks. So the Mavericks will get themselves an RBI and draw 1 run closer. Good job there by the bottom of the lineup, able to make some damage happen. And now let's see if the top of the lineup can bring him back into this game. Grayson Dowdy hit on the elbow, and she does not. You don't see as many players, especially in softball, with the elbow guards. And hopefully Dowdy is okay. Nonetheless, a good job by Dowdy taking the pitch. We do have word that there's ice pack being sent to her. And she seems like she is good to go. Great job there by Dowdy. She's going to add a battle scar to her collection. And that will load him up for Peyton Street, the number 2 hitter in the lineup. The Mavericks can make some big damage with any ball that is hit out of the outfield or even with an infield hit. The only thing you can't do if you're the Mavericks in this situation here is strike out. But Street's going to have herself a different view as Maddie Wellman is going to be the new pitcher for the Greenbrier Spartans. Wellman has tightened up her windup since I was last down at Greenbrier East. She was really, really high with her windup, and she has since tightened it up a bunch and is now throwing a lot quicker than what she was. So that will do it on the day for Kenna Collins. So Collins will not replace anybody in the infield or outfield. She'll take her spot in the dugout. So great job by Collins on the day. 6 earned runs, and she's got her team a 4-run advantage. All 3 runs on the base pads will be on her if they are scored. Ball number 1. Street will watch it. Wellman, with them loaded, delivers the first strike of her day to Street. And man, if you guys have just tuned into this game, this has been a hard-fought, hard-grounded game by both squads. The Spartans, the only difference in this ballgame really has been the third inning where the Spartans scored 6 runs and the Mavericks weren't able to score any. But the Mavericks are in business with only 1 out, and they've got the bases loaded. Street watches one inside. She's got a 3-1 count. 1 more ball. If she gets 1 more ball, she's going to walk in a run. And unfortunately for the Spartans, all 3 runners on the base pads are speedy. Pitch. She thought it was low, but it's going to be called at the knees for strike number 2. It looked like it was there at the knees. Let's see what this last pitch is. Street will stay alive now at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Our beautiful drone that has given you guys the aerial shots that we've had today. I thought it was going right over it. There for a second. That's a 4. That's a walk for the Mavericks. Almost said a 4-pitch walk. It was a battle. It wasn't just a 4-pitch battle. And the Mavericks are 1 run closer. So now a 3-run ball game. The tying run will now be Street at first base. And Peyton Griffith, your pitcher, comes up. The number 3 hitter in the lineup. Let's see if she can come up big for the Lady Mavericks. She'll swing at strike 1. Here we go, Wellman. And Street, that one's going to hit off. It looked like it was hit off her leg. And let's see what they call here. And I'm a little bit confused here. So the pitch definitely looked like it hit off the leg of Griffith, which means it should have been a foul ball, but they're going to call a ground ball. And thankfully,
she was past where she was in that. That's why the cop is like, the ball gets thrown.
Okay, we just got a ruling in. Okay, so they are ruling what I thought it was. Okay, so the ruling originally was that whenever Griffith hit the ball hit her while she was in play. So as she was in play, it counted as a fair ball, and now they re-ruled that it was now a foul ball. So I couldn't tell you what the count is. And she chases one upstairs, and apparently that was strike 3, so now 2 outs. Folks, I apologize. I don't really have much of an explanation for you. You're probably just as confused as I was. Wellman. Inside pitch for ball number 1. Hill will choke up on her at bat as the cleanup, and she's going to get a pitch on the outside part of the zone for strike 1. So basically the ruling was because it hit her body and she was still in the box. That's why it was real fair. That one is going to make it out to center, and a play made at the fence by Reagan Klein. Oh, man, Reagan Klein. I would say that is borderline. That was a robbed home run there. We're going to see it on the Advanced Hydraulics replay. Another look at it. I mean, Trinity Hill got just about every bit of that ball you could ask for it. There's the replay there of Griffith. Let's see if we can get that replay one more time. I'm going to have to see that again. I would like to see what part, if that was her leg that it hit. Let's see what we can get. Okay, so as you can see, it swung on, and yes, it was hit off the inside of her leg. So correct call there by the umpire is it was hit off the inside of her leg. So a good call. The confusion was that they didn't rule that the first time. That was the confusion. But nonetheless, the umpires got the call correct. And we're going to be on now to the top of the 6th inning. And man, right there, as you can see, Reagan Klein robbing a home run from Trinity Hill. And man, that would have opened up this game and given the Mavericks a 1-run lead. Nonetheless, the Mavericks were still able to strike for 2 runs in that inning and make it 10-7. So they cut into the deficit a little bit. And this game is nowhere near over as the top of the 6th is getting ready to start, as Griffith will stay on the mound here for the Mavericks. I would love to see if we can find somewhere where it shows what her pitch count is, because I'm sure Griffith, between today and yesterday, is easily over 160 pitches. There we go. She is up to, just today alone, 126 pitches. And she has faced 33 batters. That is incredible. Top of the 6th. Here we go. Griffith high and inside for ball 1, and it's going to be Sybil as she grounds out for the first out of the top of the 6th, and that's exactly what these Mavericks need, and that's exactly what they want. This is one of the few times where they've started out with the bottom part of the lineup to start an inning. Paige Totten, now the batter. East would love to add some more insurance runs. Totten in play, and that one passed the outstretched arms of Gracie Carter, but a good job by Grayson Dowdy. And Peyton Street able to get it into second, so that way the speedy Totten wasn't able to advance. Great rip there by Totten, able to give herself a single in the game, and now Nora Ambler will be your batter. Ambler swings on the first pitch, softly hit, beautifully placed over the head of Lowe, and that makes it into the left field where Grayson Dowdy gets it in to Carter. And now the Spartans go from a ground out to now runners on first and second with only one out. And now Reagan Klein, who is flirting with a 600 average on the season, which is a team lead, will watch ball 1. I've had the privilege of speaking to Klein before, and I asked her, I said, would you ever consider doing track? And her response was, I hate running. So for somebody as speedy as Klein is, for them not to really enjoy much running, she definitely picked a good sport in softball. She rips one over to the gap and left center, and that's going to easily score two. As Clyde, you got to be kidding me. She could have been in with a stand-up triple, but she chooses to slide in, get that jersey a little dirty. And now that'll be her second triple of the game, and that opens up this game for the Spartans. And Kenna Collins rips that one, and that one comfortably will score Klein and another runner in for the Spartans. So the Spartans, just when you think that James Monroe has an answer, the Spartans come and take away really any chance and add more insurance runs on top of what they already had. So Campbell Bundy, the catcher, now up to bat, and she'll swing at the first pitch. And that's going to be a good play there by Destiny Lowe. Nearly an error, but she's able to recover and make the play. So that is already 3 hits to start this inning. And that will comfortably advance the pinch hitter Donovan. Advance her to second place on ball number 1. And now Haley Heister, the cleanup hitter. We'll see if she can add another insurance run with Donovan in scoring position. She'll watch ball number 2. And Ariana South, it looked like she was caught between throwing to the pitcher and throwing to third as the runner was able to advance, and Heister blisters one over to left field right at Grayson Dowdy. And Dowdy, a busy lady over there at the left field. She's already had 3 balls hit to her in just this inning alone. And the Spartans said, you guys got a little bit too close for our liking. And they'll add 4 hits and 4 runs on this inning. Ripped right, a beautiful play made there by Peyton Street. And that'll end the top of the 6th inning. So a 7-run lead now for the Spartans as we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. And as you can see here on your advanced hydraulics replay, man, that was absolutely blistered. But Street, I mean, that's a Division I play right there. A backhand able to shut out the top of the 6th inning. You don't get much better than that. Let's see if the Mavericks can make a comeback here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network, or if the Spartans can hold them off. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th.
We're Moco shirt signs and embroidery. For Southern West Virginia, we can handle all your needs. From signs to apparel to uniforms, we offer all the services that you're looking for. Choose Moco, yeah, Moco for embroidery and more. Call 304-772-4444.
Moco Shirts, Red Oak Shopping Center in Fairleigh and Main Street in Union.
One-Way Towing, the source for all your towing needs. From cars to trucks, the dreaded crash to just plain stuck. For a job done right, there's only one way.
Alrighty, and we are back here at James Monroe High School with Destiny Lowe as she watches strike one, and she rips one right over the third base coach. He said, "Girl, what are you doing right now?" That's the third time she's done that today. I believe that's the third time she's done that today. So rips one right over the head of her third base coach. And now she sends that one right over the top of our head here in the press box. And now she's looking at an 0-2 hole here. Scores 14-7 with Greenbrier East leading. Low, oh, what a change up there by Maddie Wellman. Oh, man. Now it'll be Lizzie Smith, the number 6 hitter in the lineup. It's the 5, 6, and 7 hitters up. Smith swings. That one's going to make it. And that somehow is able to make it past Kenna Collins, the shortstop. Was the pitcher earlier in the game. So Ariana South is going to be the man up to bat for the Lady Mavericks. And she's going to get one low and in the dirt for ball number 1. This game is still very, very much in arm's reach of James Monroe, but the Spartans made it difficult with that last inning as they were able to score themselves 4 runs in the top of the 6th inning. So it seems like every third inning, the top of the 3rd and the top of the 6th, were their 2 big innings where they scored their runs. They scored 6 in the top of the 3rd, and they scored 4 at the top of this inning. So 10 of their 14 runs have come from just those 2 innings alone. Upstairs to even it up on South at 2-2. Wellman sees another one. Good eye from South. And now she's full at 3-2. Late swing there. I think she thought that one was going to be outside the strike zone, but Wellman painted the strike zone beautifully, and that'll be out in number 2 on the inning. And Gracie Carter, the 8th man in the lineup, is up to bat. Low for ball 1. It's been a great continuation of this game for the Spartans, being able to hold on to this lead because James Monroe has scored a run in each inning that they've needed it, but not once have the Spartans not come up with an answer. They've had something every time James Monroe has come up. But James Monroe has also done the same in almost every inning of this ballgame. They've been able to score. Let's see if they can do it with 2 outs and a runner on first with a pitcher's count. That one inside and nearly hit the body of Gracie Carter, the 3rd baseman. And that one's going to be low and another full count. For those of you that haven't already, make sure you drop a follow over on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you put us as a favorite on the Discovery page if you're on Roku. We will be having interviews. We'll be having interviews over on Facebook right after this game. So make sure you're following all 3 of our pages. As we will be interviewing players such as Maddie Baker, who was the player for the Spartans earlier this year that had unfortunately a catastrophic injury ending her season. So we're going to ask her about how her rehab process is going, how she's been doing mentally, keeping herself in the game as much as possible, and as well as how she's been doing academically. We also have a couple Mavericks as well. So make sure you stick around, because we've still got a lot more to go even after the ball game is over. All right, 0-2 is the count. As the Mavericks have runners now on first and second base. We are currently at the bottom of the sixth inning here in Linside. It's been a beautiful day for some softball. A little bit of wind, but the sun has been out for the majority of this game except for the majority of last inning and this full inning. And a rip straight to third base. And all Sid Norman had to do was tag the base. And that'll do it for the bottom of the sixth inning. And as you can see, your aerial coverage brought to you by Advanced Hydraulics, as the Mavericks will take the field for the top of the seventh inning. Don't go anywhere on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network.
RT Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Rinnai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote for delivery.
Alrighty, and we are back here on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. It's good to have you here with us. The Greenbrier East Spartans are making a couple changes to their lineup. You've seen Donovan run a couple times for the Spartans as a pinch runner, but she is now seeing her first plate appearance as a batter. And also on deck is going to be number 21, the freshman Chloe Weichel, normally a pitcher for the Spartans. She's going to see her plate appearance, and that's going to be a foul out, as Donovan tried to fight it off, but it stayed in play. And now, normally would be pitcher Chloe Weichel now batting. Only her 5th plate appearance on the season. Good check there from Weichel. She did not swing as ruled by the home plate umpire. And she'll watch that straight go past her and even up the count at 1-1. Top of the 7th is your inning. 14-7 is your score. Weichel rips one right to low. That's going to be a hard play to make. And Weichel's going to beat out the throw. Good hustle there by Chloe Weichel, the freshman. And she'll get herself on first base. And now Paige Totten will be up to bat. And we have time called by the third base coach for the Spartans. It's like he's telling them about a couple possible lineup changes. Let's see what the decision is. See what the decision is that is made. All right. All right, here we go. It looks like everybody is sorted, rounded, ready to roll. Paige Totten up for the Spartans. She's your number 8 hitter in the lineup. That pitch was a little bit high and outside, and somehow Totten able to get a piece of that with those long arms. She'll foul it off at strike 1. Griffith. The delivery about 1.5 feet in front of home plate, and that will allow Weichel to be able to advance as the count is evened up at 1-1. Weichel there on second base. It's an upstairs pitch to Totten. That one also low, but Weichel not able to advance. So 3-1 is the count. Pitches away. And Totten got just enough of a piece, and she's speedy. And does she beat it out? No, she doesn't. That was a close play at first base, but a great job there by Ariana South to be able to get her out before she was able to reach. So that will get Chloe Weichel over to third base, and anything is going to score at this point. Any hit is going to score. Nora Ambler up for the Spartans. We'll watch ball 1. There's a good look here at Peyton Griffith. Who's been an absolute workhorse this season for the Mavericks. Last time we checked, which was the top of the 6th inning, she was already at 130 pitches, 136 to be exact. I'm sure by this point, she's already got 170 or 180 pitches. She may see 200 by the end of the day. And that one's going to be low. And that'll put runners in the corners with 2 outs. So I do have the official count for you, 155 pitches. So got a little bit ambitious there, thinking it was 170, 180, but nonetheless, 155 pitches, and 77 of those were strikes. And we're once again back up to the top of the lineup with Klein, who's already stolen a base and hit 2 triples on the day. That would be something. That'd be something to see, a sight to see. If Klein was able to hit her 3rd triple of the day, you definitely don't see triples being hit every day, especially if you saw as many as 3. That pass ball will allow Ambler to be able to reach second base. So now both runners in scoring position. And we have time called by Coach Wickline of James Monroe. And they're going to intentionally walk Reagan Klein. Understandably so, the hot evening that she has had this evening. And now Kenna Collins up to bat. Outside for Collins. Good look here on the backstop camera. Beautiful view of the infield. And that one's going to be ripped into right field. Good stop there. But not in time, and that'll score Weichel as well as Ambler. And that'll increase the lead for the Spartans, as the lead is now 16-7 with Campbell Bundy up to bat for Greenbrier East. Bundy watches one inside. Runner comes, and that's going to be Klein. Way too speedy for any play of James Monroe to be able to make anything happen. And that's going to give them a double-digit lead. 17-7 is your score in Linside. Top of the 7th inning. And that will allow Collins to be able to advance from first to second into scoring position. Klein scores with just 2 outs. I say just 2 outs. It feels like they've had 2 outs now for the past 15 minutes, but the Spartans just keep tacking on run after run. Inside there, good stop there by South. Able to keep that from going to the backstop. 2-0 is the count. And that one's going to clip the inside corner. 2-1 is the count. The Mavericks still have a chance at the bottom 7th of this inning to try to get themselves. And that one's going to hit the outside corner. Bundy not quite agreeing with the call. Nonetheless, we've got it full now. Pitches away, and Bundy swings and misses. Got a little bit ambitious on the changeup there from Griffith. And after 6.5 innings, the score is 17-7. And let's see if the Mavericks can keep this game going. Mavericks are going to need 10 runs in order to keep this game alive. All right, one last chance here for the Mavericks, down 10 runs in the bottom of the 7th. As Wellman's going to be the man pitching for the Spartans, they'll take her. Wellman's done a good job since coming in to relieve Kenna Collins. So far got herself about 2 2/3 innings of work. All right. And let's see if the Mavericks can make this a ball game with Grayson Dowdy up to bat. That's a beautiful look on our advanced hydraulics aerial cam. As we saw a little bird just go past the camera. But you could see Maddie Wellman there in the center circle. Beautiful look there. As we are ready to get started with the bottom of this 7th inning. Dowdy swings. And that'll be the first strike of the 7th. Pitches away. That one's ripped straight to Kenna Collins. Oh, my goodness. She didn't even have to move for that ball. She took a small step forward, and that was it. All she had to do was put her mitt up, and that ball came straight to her. Good coaching over there on the Greenbrier East side, trying to predict exactly where those balls are going to go to. And that'll be the first out of this 7th inning. Street over the head of Nora Ambler. And that's going to be a single. Is Street able to get on base? That's going to be their main goal. If you're James Monroe right here, your main goal is to try to get runners on base and put pressure on the pitcher. Called strike one on the bottom part of the strike zone on Peyton Griffith, the pitcher. Up and outside. Man, would this be a comeback for the ages if James Monroe was able to captivate a few hits, get some runs together and score a little bit. But Maddie Wellman has other plans with a 1-2 count. She's got one out so far to start out this bottom of the seventh. Griffith, that one looks like it's going to be fair, and it will be. Nonetheless, the out is made. Caught by Sibbald for the second out now of the seventh inning. So now the cleanup hitter, Trinity Hill. See if she can extend this game. One beautiful part about softball is that there is no time limit. So let's see how long they can make this second out work for them. Trinity Hill robbed of a grand slam. Her last at bat is Reagan Klein. It was hit towards the big part of center field, and that one's going to be grounded under the glove of Kenna Collins. And Street gets down, and she's going to be safe, and that will also allow Hill to advance to second. So a little bit of pressure now on Wellman as it'll bring up Destiny Lowe. And he gets to the outfield, is going to get 2 runs in. Lowe will swing at the first pitch. That one's drilled straight to the shortstop. And unfortunately, Kenna Collins for East was not able to hold on to it. And that's going to be an RBI. So James Monroe will get back 1 run at least, if nothing else. All right, Lizzie Smith up to bat. Runners on first and second. And a dropped pitch. I do not think I have ever seen that. Ever. So it looked like Wellman went to wind up the pitch and she dropped it. I don't know if we have a replay on that or not that we could show a little bit later, but it looked like she just dropped the ball as she went to pitch it. Well, that's going to allow a runner to advance to third base, so we now have runners on the corners. I know it's a 9-run game, but nonetheless, still put a little bit more pressure, and that's going to be near the gap. Lowe's going to be able to advance to third. That's another run that's going to score. And Lizzie Smith will get into second, so James Monroe with 2 outs making some noise. That's 2 straight runs now that they're able to get across the base pads. And we're going to have a conference with the pitcher as the head coach for Greenbrier East is going to come out and talk to him. Let's see what the decision is. Man, I do not know if I've ever seen something like that where a pitcher, baseball or softball, goes to do their windup, and as soon as they go for their windup, they lose the ball and it goes straight backwards. Yeah, that's something I've never seen before. Man. I mean, God willing, I've still got a lot of years left on this earth, but man, after 21 years, still never seen anything like that. So Wellman now with runners now, 2 runners in scoring position. And the Mavericks, the only con now for the Mavericks is that they can't make a mistake. They have 2 outs, so any out, they're done with this ball game. But they've still been able to produce 2 runs. Called strike on the inside part of the zone. And now James Monroe down to their last strike. Ariana South, the catcher. See if she can make something happen for the Mavericks. Outside pitch as Wellman wastes one to make the count 1-2. We'll see if she decides to go straight at her. She does, and South will stay alive and gets a piece of it. If the Mavericks are able to battle back and come up with something crazy, it will be a testament to always keep your mind in the ball game. That's going to be an inside pitch there. So we're evened up now at 2-2. Don't matter how she gets on base. She just wants to get on there somewhere. Wellman, let's see if she can take care of her. Not quite yet. Fouled off the fence. She'll see another pitch this at bat. And we got a battle between South and Wellman. Wellman. That one's low, but it's going to be a drop, 3rd strike. But a good job there by Campbell Bundy, able to deliver over to Haley Heister, the first baseman, and get the final out of this ball game. So the one time where the catcher dropped the 3rd strike, she did not notice it. And that'll be it for this ball game. The final scores you can see from the beautiful aerial view of Linside. The final score is Greenbrier East 17 and the James Monroe Lady Mavericks 9. Thank you so much for watching on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. If you're still here, please drop a follow. We'd greatly appreciate it over on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube, and make sure you follow the Discovery page over on Roku, so that way we are on your recommended home screen for any broadcast, any videos, and things that we do that will come up on your channel. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Matthew Thomas, commentating the game. Joe Sharp on the camera, and Harry Vance, the producer. Thank you all so much. Happy Cinco de Mayo Day from everyone. Make sure you follow over on Facebook especially. We're going to have some interviews recorded here in the next 10 minutes, and they will be out within the next couple of hours on the Greenbrier Valley Channel Sports Network. God bless everyone, and good evening. Be safe on the rest of the week.
R.T. Rogers Oil Company and Precision Delivery have many kind and knowledgeable long-term employees in our Hinton office who account for transactions and dispatch fuel and explain and educate about our many products, such as our wall heaters and also our fireplace logs, which are designed for residential space heating, and we also have Renai tankless water heaters available. We provide many different types of fuel storage tanks along with an experienced and trained crew that will be installing them. We will then make safe and timely deliveries to these storage tanks. Our long-term employees make deliveries and also install HVAC units and install generators, while Precision Delivery transports fuel in 6 states. So, call us for a quote or delivery.
Air Supply Heating and Cooling is the area's only Amana dealer offering full service, repairs, maintenance, and installs. Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty and a one-time unit replacement. Air Supply also offers after-hours repair service. Call today for a free estimate.
GNC Flooring, specializing in hardwood and laminate. We offer existing floor sanding and refinishing and free estimates. Call 304-646-1031.
One-Way Towing, the source for all of your towing needs. From cars to trucks, the dreaded crash to just plain stuck. For a job done right, there's only one way.
We're Moco shirt signs and embroidery. For Southern West Virginia, we can handle all your needs. From signs to apparel to uniforms, we offer all the services that you're looking for. Choose Moco, yeah, Moco for embroidery and more. Call 304-772-4444.
Moco Shirts, Red Oak Shopping Center in Fairleigh and Main Street in Union.